Tiv Kavanos, he told us about the 3 yads. Now, there's a lot of things that we go through here that, and he talked about the word koz, and what's the other part? Mukas. Yeah, let me see. Kozu, Bamukas, and Kozu. The counts of 14 over there. That was something that might be useful somewhere along the line if you're trying to figure out what's going on. So now we got to, well, okay, we got the number Pei on page Tafresh Lamed Dalet. Pei. Pei says, Venira Lechanias Daiti, so he says, Ro'im Chochach at Shiflos, Aruch Shal Marchu, Shebekol Eis Kosev La'anias Daiti. Sheshamat B'morizal, Shetov Lomer HaKadosh HaZerem Al Mises Aviv V'imo, Kol Hashana Kula, the whole entire year, Afilu B'Shavazos V'Yomim Tovim. So the Tiv is a litvak. So the Tiv writes, so he writes, Shetov Shal Yisomim Yomim as a Kaddish Basra al Levichem o al Imam, the measure called the Shanach Rishon of the Bisals and Bishlemos, below Rak B'Yud al Chodesh. V'chein Yomer Chabafidu B'Shavazos V'Yomim Tovim Shabos Hashanah. So also you say it then. So I never thought that I think it's a custom to say on Shabbos and Yomim Tovim. He may have a reason for that. Because the reason is not the way everybody thinks. That that's the only thing that it does. The reason why we do this and then it's not just for that. Said again. The Gan Eden is to bring it into Gan Eden. V'zera b'rato elis he sh'al yadu kain niftar. He said, yadu kain niknas niftar of the Gan Eden. V'al losach of a bedregan to bring him up from one level to the next. Vav im kavar niknas the Gan Eden, and even if a person has already gone into Gan Eden, daim yesh to elis the niftar b'kaddish. Kevin Shebekoach HaKaddish, who Zocher Shebegan Eden Atzmo, who Ya'aloch Medrega, the Medrega. There are Medregos. I guess he means there is his Karvus. V'hara Shebechamiris HaKaddish Yasam Yesh Shlosha to Elios. So let's look at them. They have 1. In Natzach Bedinish Gehenim. 2. Bring him into the Hikanet Began Eden. Gimel. Shebegan Eden Atzmo, who all of them is Allah bedrega become bedrega ketanda the bedrega gavoda man. So Kafi zeh with the fish at time and betam holodoshi sheyesh del to Ellis el nivda of a vida b'hi yosef gavor began Eden when he's even in Gan Eden, the person like whatever. As I say, Zechagam b'shavasa v'yomim tovim yesh the omra of azai pashut as Azahem Rishon Kach Gam Shavasas v'Yomim Tovim Yomim Tovim Shebiyom Elu Shavas Gehenim. So he says, we say, you don't need it. The Gehenim is not going to be a worry because it's not going. Ve'ein Din Shel Gehenim Adayim B'Yesh Lom B'Chas HaKadosh B'Kedei L'havin the nefesh to elis to seves, you can help him he yikanish the Gan Eden, that you should actually make it into Gan Eden, af la loisa began Eden ansbach the bedrega yosir gavoa. So Chavaranda Chabriisi the Morizon, this is his pattern. Shahoya oiver of a Kaddish Basar b'kol Shana v'Shana v'Yom Shemez bo Aviv. Bishlosh tefilos. So he said what he says. So he said Marchu made. So he testifies, Shara Shaharav Zab Hoya Omer Akadish Baser Bekal Shana V'Yom Hashana Shemes Bo Ovid. Sounds like yard sign. He Omer Akadish Baser Bekal Shlosha Tefilos. Now he's emphasizing that it's the so it's the Kaddish because you have even in Sfardim they have Kaddish at the beginning at Hodu or right before Hodu. But here he says, for the mourners specifically by themselves, I guess that's what it means. So he says, a Kaddish Basach B'Kodesh Shlosh Tefilos, the Haida B'Ma'arech Shachris and Mencha. So he says, so going on, the Hoya Ombracha B'Nusa Kaddish Al B'nei Sfarad. Commotion is Shenatiku, who the command, Bezos Hashem, he's going to bring that over, I guess. Rav Koyin Nocheg B'Mibus Kaddish K'fi Hanusach Shel B'nei Sfarad, Shama V'Yatzma Pekune, where they put that V'Yatzma Pekune in there. So I guess he's sensitive to the issue. So he says, and he says, V'Chavelocha Minchag HaMusta'arvim HaMosifim Bo Devarim Mechirim Al Derek Masha Kasev B'Harambam V'Zal. So I don't know what I've seen in Chaim Beinart where he talks about they call them Musta'arabs, and they were old Jews that had been hung around and they picked up a lot of habits from the Arabs. I think he's going to say that. Rav the Hoysed B'Kadish Tefilos B'Vakashos Chevrim Kaminchag HaMusta'arvim. A Gavisha Kasev Rambam, the Rambam wrote that. But Danki B'Shabbos Nemshechet. So I think we're at a different place now. So let's see where we're at here. Okay, let's look a little. He said, "V'da ki b'Shabbos nemshechet toseves kedusha kol hayom." 1 second. He says again here. Da ki b'Shabbos nemshechet toseves kedusha al adam b'mesha kol hayom am shelo b'shas tefila. Even just that's what happens by itself. Masha Ein came b'chol, which is not the case by the weekday. Shein tosefes kedusha ela b'shas tefila levad. Aval b'chol lo nibshchol da'ada b'tosefes kedusha ki im bizman tefila levad. Just said the same words. V'zera v'chatam she'ein tosefes nishma ein tosefes neshama. So that's the reason why there's not an additional amount in neshama. Rak, he says, b'Shabbos belvad. Now he's getting into something I think is worthwhile looking at closely. He said, b'shum kach rak b'Shabbos yesh nechad neshama yiser l'adam. Kemen sheb'Shabbos nemshechas l'adam tosefes kedusha b'kol yom Shabbos. So he said because this continues throughout the whole day. A tosefes kedusha. Lefichach ha'adam zocha l'neshama yisera. So therefore, that's the schus of the neshama yisera. So how's this go? Masha ein came b'chol shel tosefes kedusha nimshechas l'zman moed, which is the time of tefillah. The hayin derabarak b'zman the tefillah. V'lechein ein la'adam tosefes neshama ab b'shas tefillah. Avachavim kol zera v'am derabaram shebechol lo nimshechas tosefes kedusha la'adam b'kol yom. He said the Roy says that those who are the Yari Hashem, l'chosh v'shema, and those who are careful, I guess, or could elevate His holy name, they very kaddish. Akla nashem shehem yireim b'Hashem yisbarach v'le'elach b'shem chosh v'shema yisbarach. Yesh lechem eze ketzas ha'ara kedusha. They have some kedusha about them. Gam b'mei ha'chol b'shas tefillah, also then b'shas at the time of prayer. Azai lechem, so he says, Azai lechem gam b'mei ha'chol b'shas tefillah b'vad, heim makabla tosefes ha'ara kedusha, so they get that just at that time then. Aval adayim ein b'zeh dai b'kedei lehiyos lechem toteves neshama b'yimos ha'chol, but it's not called by that name. B'shas tefillah nimshechas ha'arach mitosefes neshama, but there's an ha'ara that can come to a person who's a Yarush Shemaim, the Choshvei Shemo, he says, Ak v'rak lo noshim shehem Yari Hashem v'Choshvei Shemo. Gam yesh chiluk acher v'hu, it's this. Ki b'Shabbos nemshechet tosefet kedusha ba'atzma. Kol masha na'az al yedei. So let's see what he said. Be'ez ka'ez. Now, lo nichter at the bira b'chazeh. So he doesn't really get into it. Just stopped there apparently. Kol masha na'az al zeh. But he says ka'ez now. Lo nichter is not written. Bir al zeh. An explanation on this. V'od chazah the moed. So he says v'chabaz Hashem. So wherever he was starting there, it didn't really develop. So he says, Gam yesh chiluk acher. There's another thing. Yesh lo chiluk nosef bein Shabbos the mehachol. What is that? V'hu ki b'Shabbos olim klalos kol olomos. All of the let's see what he means by klalos kol olomos. Ki b'Shabbos yesh aliyah l'kol klalos olomos shachol l'biyah. So all of the via is moving up to Hainu. All of this, the Panemius and the Chitzonius moves up. Masha Ein came Bechol, which is not that case in Kol, in the weekday. Masha Ein came Bechol, Sham He Aliyah Acheres the Gamri. It's a completely different way of moving closer. I like the word closer. He is closer. She'ein olim b'ezah tefillah rak b'chila neshama levad, because the only thing that goes up when you're praying is only the neshamas. Now, what does it mean? Shahari b'chol haliyah ki rak b'ezah tefillah bilvad v'af aliyah zecha b'hi rak b'chila neshamas levad shehir panemius. So we learned that previously in another place, that the panemius is what moves up, and it makes up the chitzonis into a panemius like that chain reaction. But the klalos alamos, that's what he says over here, he says they don't move. And he says like this. Now, I think that the idea is, how much more time we have? Look, a couple of minutes. Let me read that again. Is Masha Ein came B'chol, Masha Ein came B'chol, Shesham, he aliyah acheres the gamri. It's a completely different aliyah. B'shein olim be'ezah tefillah v'rak b'chilad neshamas levad. So the shem b'shachar b'chol aliyah he rak be'ezah tefillah b'vad v'af aliyah zu he rak b'chilad neshamas. Which is panemius the vel she'em b'panemius. V'af l'chavadacha b'chilad klalos alamas. The klalos alamas don't move up. Shehem Chitzonius Alamas is a general rule, although they could be made into Panemius. We saw that previously. Shalom Ima Shchina, they go up with the Shchina. Of a Bechinas and Neshamas, let's talk about the Neshamas, he says. Shehem Panemius Alamas, which is the Panemius Alamas. Heim Olam Yachad in Mashchina, she goes together when the Shchina comes back out during Tefillah. She comes out of Bia, and she Yarda Belayla Besod Miu, she went down. Yosef the Rabbesecha v'mayim nokvim k'nayda v'nesham b'shecha olamos b'chiyosem olim yachad in the shchina. So what he says, the neshamos shall olamos, that is the panemius olamos b'chiyosem olim yachad in the shchina, with their going up together with the shchina. When she comes out of Bia, they come along with her. Heim na'asim la b'chinas mayim nokvim, and it's a little bit difficult to hear this, and I heard the translation of feminine waters, he calls it. This is, he says, these neshamos that come along with the Shekhinah, how this happens, he doesn't say. He says, hey, na'asim la, they become for her, bechinas mayim nokvin. So they want to go up. They're upward goers. They're moving up, I guess. So also notice in the whole, so let's see where we're at. I think that's where we're at right now. We're out of time, no? Cafe, yeah, that's it. Thank you.